Story: Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who often wore a red scarf, so everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother asked her to take some cakes to her grandmother. Before she left, her mother reminded her, "Go straight on the path and don't take the winding road through the forest where the wolf might eat you." But as Little Red Riding Hood walked, she saw the winding path through the woods with many flowers and butterflies. Ignoring her mother's warning, she happily skipped along that path. After a while, she encountered a squirrel who said, "Little Red Riding Hood, I heard your mother tell you to go straight and not take this path. Why are you on this road?" Little Red Riding Hood didn't reply to the squirrel. She continued on the winding path through the forest, picking flowers and chasing butterflies. When she reached the edge of the woods, she met the big bad wolf. The wolf, towering over her, asked in a deep voice, "Hey, little girl, where are you going?" Hearing the wolf's question, Little Red Riding Hood was scared, but she gathered her courage and replied, "I'm going to my grandmother's house." Upon hearing that, the wolf thought to himself, so she has a grandmother too. I'll eat both of them then. With that thought in mind, the wolf asked, "Where does your grandmother live?" Little Red Riding Hood innocently replied, "She lives on the other side of the forest. Her house has a chimney, just push the door and you'll get inside." After hearing this, the wolf left Little Red Riding Hood there and ran straight to her grandmother's house. He pushed open the door, pounced on the old lady, and swallowed her whole. Then he climbed into bed, disguised himself as the grandmother, and waited for Little Red Riding Hood's arrival. When she entered the cottage, she saw the wolf lying in bed, disguised as her grandmother. Thinking that her grandmother was sick, she asked, "Grandma, have you been sick for a long time?" The wolf, pretending to be the grandmother, growled softly, "Yes, my dear. Your mother told me you were coming with some cakes." Little Red Riding Hood, still unaware of the wolf's true identity, approached the bed and asked, "Grandma, why do you have such big ears?" The wolf replied, "The better to hear you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood grew more suspicious and asked, "Grandma, why do you have such big eyes?" The wolf replied, "The better to see you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood's fear grew, but she gathered her courage once again and asked, "Grandma, why do you have such big teeth?" At this point, the wolf couldn't hide his true intentions any longer and replied, "The better to eat you with." As the wolf lunged at Little Red Riding Hood, a hunter happened to pass by the cottage. He heard the commotion and rushed inside. Without hesitation, the hunter took out his knife and quickly cut open the wolf's stomach. To his surprise, he found both Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother alive inside. He helped him out and they were reunited, grateful to be saved from the wolf's jaws. From that day forward, Little Red Riding Hood learned her lesson and never disobeyed her mother's instructions. She understood the importance of listening to adults, avoiding strangers, and following the safe path. The story of Little Red Riding Hood serves as a valuable lesson for children, teaching them to be obedient, cautious, and mindful of their surroundings while emphasizing the importance of safety when venturing out alone.